Mariah, they're playing games. I ain't for no games today. Oh man. Y'all know what that's from, right? That was that when Mariah Carey did an interview one day, she was talking about Divas Live and she did an imitation of Aretha Franklin. And God, that just floored me. Mariah, they're playing games. I ain't for no games, Mariah. Oh my God, she sounded just like Aretha Franklin. Anyway, in this case, it's not the producers of Diva Live that's playing games. It's the royal family. Somebody is leaking like crazy. It's just incredible that all this time that the Sussexes were, well, they have a home in Montecito where there are no leaks. But yet, in just a couple of days, what, since Thursday, um, and just imagine that they were in the UK for the the one young world, and then they go over to Germany for the kickoff of the Invictus countdown, the 1 year countdown, and then when the Queen dies suddenly at, well, I wouldn't say it was suddenly, but the Queen died at age 96 in Balmoral. I mean, not with not not the next day, not that evening, but within an hour, the leaking started. I mean, just one, there's not enough diapers or nappies in the world that can hold in that deluge of leaks. And so when I think about it, I picture the raw sewage running into the rivers and the seas around Britain. But in this case, it's not raw sewage, it's the royal family, as as Dan Wootton would say, it's the royal family. The calls are coming from inside the house. It's the royal family. So, obviously, it is the royal family. Um, but who? That's the big question. Who's doing it? We're used to the, Kensington Palace and Clarence House. Now, everybody's had a bump up in their pay grade, and it seems like the leaking has gotten that much worse. So, um, I tell you, pick or choose your poison. It's all just as toxic. So, anyway, I'm going to say hello to a few people and then we'll get going here. Let's see. Yesterday was September the 11th. Um, okay. I'm just putting everything up I think I'll need for now. And okay. Hello everybody. Connie Balmer. Hi Connie. I don't even see you yet, but I just know you're there. Thank you for being here. Let's see. Oh, really? Okay. All right. That slide. Uh, not that one. So let me see. That's. Mm, mm, mm. Hmm. Okay. And just for good measure, I'll throw this one up there too. I'm just trying to gather everything I think I'll need, and probably some stuff I don't. Okay. So already 1,000 people? Really? Are you guys messing with my head? Hello, Phyllis Johnson, Julia Rock, Roselle Bernard, Sharon Marcia Lawrence Hunter. Let me see. Oh, really? How did I miss that? I must have been prepping. Yes, Baron. I watched James O'Brien this morning on LBC, and he called out the Daily Fail about bullying Meghan, and all this cancellation was, oh, oop, oop, where is it at? Was shocked. I couldn't believe it was he, said Daily Mail. Huh. Well, cool. Cool. I'm so glad for that. And they have no shame or hesitation. Right now, the racism, the bias, the lies is on full display, and they don't care who knows about it. It is just, they're very in your face with it. By the way, you guys, thank you for 18,000 subscribers as of yesterday. If you did watch yesterday, then you know there was a very I guess preemptive countdown last night, and anyway, 18,000. Okay, Don Robertson, Gail. By the way, thank you, Sharon Marcia Lawrence Hunter, for that. I have to look it up. Judy Rico, Rosalind Marston, Legs. Hey, Legs. Uh, Sar, yes. Chef Sandy Love, Marcia Delvies, Joan Garcia, Denise Marcus, Church Nelly, Karen, Verta Sanchez, hello. Angela R, Judy Rigo, Gwen, let's see, Anastasia Isabella. Oh, yeah, and Lydia Washington. Lydia, I bet you're at work right now. Black Queen. What? Uh, you guys, what exactly am I missing? Oh my God. Harry is not allowed to wear his uniform, but that person will for event. SOBs can't even find an iota of grace. Well, I saw that person today that you're making reference to. He wasn't in uniform. He had on his medals and such, but he wasn't in uniform. So, and let's hope that that doesn't happen. So, very quickly, thank you, Annie Bennett, for the super sticker. Thank you, Elaine Parker, for the super sticker, and thank both of you for being members and for watching Royal Sussex. Also, thank you to Liberia Rose, she who has been so helpful to me in launching this channel. Thank you so much. Let's see. Angela R, thank you for the sticker. Okay. Thank you both. And by the way, Liberia Rose, thank you so much for the membership. And thank you both for watching Royal Sussex. All right. All right. So those pleasantries, Mercedes Todd, hello. All right. I'm going to get started because there's a lot of stuff to cover. And I want to get cracking at it. Pedal will be on later. And as much as I love being here with you guys, I can't wait to hear what Pedal got to say, because what this situation has needed was a good lawyer, if you know what I mean. Y'all know what I mean, right? We have been needing some legal representation. So I'm very interested myself. So let me get cracking so we can all sit back and watch the case unfold together. Evening Squad family and moderators just got home. We'll finish myself up with will be on replay if you guys are not live. Archie Teschner, thank you so much for checking in with us, and thank you for the very kind super sticker. And also, thank you for watching Royal Sussex. All right, so moving on, moving on. We got to get this show rolling. Thank you, moderators. You guys have been working hard. I have permanently deleted a lot of those intruders that you guys have identified. So hopefully I got all the right people. uh, all right. And so this is from Prince Harry. Prince Harry has made an official statement about the death of the Queen. Thus far, the only thing that has come from Archwell or from the Sussexes was the blackened screen on the Archwell site. Well, now, statement from Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, in celebration the life of my grandmother, Her Majesty the Queen, and in mourning her loss, we are all reminded of the guiding compass she was to so many in her commitment to serve and duty. She was globally admired and respected. Her unwavering grace and dignity remained true throughout her life and now her everlasting legacy. Let us echo the words she spoke after the passing of her husband, Prince Philip. Words which can bring comfort to all of us. Life, of course, consists of final partings as well as first meetings. Oh, that was beautiful. He goes on to say, Granny, while this final parting brings us great sadness, I am forever grateful for all of our first meetings, from my earliest childhood memories with you to meeting you for the first time as a commander in chief, to the first moment you met my darling wife and hugged your beloved great grandchildren. I cherish these times shared with you and the many other special moments in between. You are already sorely missed, not just by us, but by the world over. And as it comes to first meetings, we now honor my father in his new role as King Charles III. Thank you for your commitment to service. Thank you for your sound advice. Thank you for your infectious smile. We too smile knowing that you and Grandpa are reunited now and both together in peace. That's a statement from Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, on that black background that now is making my eyes ache. Oh my God, that hurt. Oh, now it's just like oh, it's burnt into my retina. Hold on, you guys. Let me blink my eyes a bit so I can refocus. That hurts. You know what? There was a version on a white background, but this was the one from their website. So here we go, right? All right, moving on. So this is the royal line of succession. Well, so far they have not said nay to the two great grandchildren of the Queen, the grandchildren of the sovereign. So you have William, George, Charlotte, Louis, Harry, Archie, and Lilibet. That is the heirs to the throne. So unless the Windsors have a really, really bad day, it's not likely that we will ever see a King Harry, at least not a king of the British Isles, or a King Archie or a Queen Lilibet. Um, but in a very morbid kind of way, it is fun to think about it, though. Uh, and so, with that, I have to tell you guys now, there was a lot of briefing and rebriefing after the Queen died. If you guys remember, within a very short period of time after the Queen's death, there was a bunch of briefing back and forth. It all started with the Sussexes, really. Let me see if well, you know what? Let me go back over here because I think I have it here. Oh, by the way, I keep asking, was it Charles the First or Charles the Second that was beheaded? I believe it was Charles the First who believed in the divine right of kings, and he wanted to rule roughshod over the government. And of course, because there were other people who thought, no, we have to have a common law, Your Majesty. And he said, common law? What common law? I am the law. And so, just to prove that he was wrong, they chopped his head off. And by the way, one of the burial vaults at the St. George Chapel, where the Queen and Philip will be interred soon together, is where you can find the grave of Charles I, red beard and all. You can find his grave right there with Henry VIII, and I believe it was his third wife. Anyway, they're all in a vault there at the at the St. George Chapel. So Charles II, I think he helped reform things after, what was it, 14 years, 11 years when there was no sovereign. So henceforth, we have Charles III. Now, he had an opportunity to change his name. Um, what do they call it? The regalic name or whatever. And that's just like the Pope. Sometimes they choose their names, they don't actually use their birth name. And so some people thought because he's such a romantic that he would use the name Arthur. That's his name, Charles Philip Arthur George Mountbatten-Windsor. Well, they thought he would use that name, but he had other ideas. He has a love for the notorious, so he'd rather just keep Charles and keep it simple. So Charles III it is. So just remember, it didn't work out so well for the first Charles, but he I guess he loves that name. I don't know. So anyway, King Charles I of England was beheaded by his own people. Charles II ruled during a plague and the Great Fire of London, which was 1666 if my memory recalls. And the world now awaits the reign of Charles III, who also comes in, um, I guess, just after or at the tail end of another plague. Um, what perfect timing. Speaking of which, if you remember, I know a lot of people kept saying, oh, um, did she die from the plague? You know, I can't say the word. And well, we all know that not long after a visit with her son and daughter-in-law, um, she became incredibly ill. But no, that's not what it was. She had been, ill for quite some time, even before that. So it wasn't that. I just wanted to make that official. It wasn't that. I don't believe it was that anyway. So, plus, they said it was some type of outbreak at the Windsor Castle. And when they said outbreak, they didn't say them, they just said somebody. It was like an outbreak, a mysterious outbreak, not necessarily them. It's just that it didn't happen until he came over. And then both him and his emotional support, Camilla, both of them just happened to be sick at the same time this outbreak happened. So nobody knows how she got it. Charles! Excuse me. Charles! Oh, excuse me, you guys. My allergies. Charles! They don't know how she got it. Okay, so next. Now that he has seized the reins of power, one of the big questions is there any room for this guy? If you don't know who that is Michael Forsyth. Michael Forsyth is the one who referred to Charles's mixed race secretary as the N-word secretary. Not known as the nicest guy, but he's been in charge of things like Dumfrey House and the funding of Dumfrey's house. So I'm curious to know if he's going to come back. He was 19 years old when he was employed with the royal family. And as you can tell from the photo right there, they're very close. Um, Awkwardly close, I would say. Uh, Awkwardly close. But anyway, I mean, close enough to shield him from the draft. Anyway, um, Michael Forsyth ain't got much education, but what he lacks in education, he makes up for it with ambition because he has had a lot of money, and I do mean a lot of money, sifting through those little chubby fingers of his, um, which would have explain why he has that head tilted back in the most pompous and arrogant of ways. But I digress. That ain't none of my business. But that is Michael Forsyth. So look forward to him coming back under Charles III. Oh, okay. So I'm going to move on to another topic. Do you guys recognize these two famous women? Do you guys recognize these two famous women? And please, in order, can you tell us who they are? Left and right. Can you tell us who they are? I would probably answer before you get to it, but it's okay. I'll just move on. Okay, since it's on delay, I can't really wait for you guys to come up with a clever answer, but I'll just tell you the one on the left side is, let me take a look just in case somebody got it. I don't want to spoil it. Anybody? Yes, yes. Who got that right? Walking Dead Junkie got it right. Oh, yes, Ruth Lopez. Marina, I'm sorry you didn't get it, but yes, is Hillary Clinton is on the left and Angela Merkel is on the right. So, yes, those are some of the most famous childbearing hips in history. But yes, that's who they are. And I am crazy about both of them. So, a lot of you guys got it right. So, that was very clever of you. So, let me talk about this one. Because we are in morning mania, thanks for getting the word out about gutsy women. Uh, well, hashtag gutsy Laura. So Laura Ingraham seems to be very bothered with Hillary Clinton because she is virtue signaling. Laura Ingraham, that is. Hillary Clinton just wrote a book about gutsy women. Guess which 96-year-old reigning monarch of 70 years she failed to include? Um, if she failed to include it, just like she was omitted from the Vogue article or the guest editing of Vogue, it was for a good reason. Um, Let me tell you something. every year, Forbes magazine, um, they do an issue, the wealthiest people in the world or the wealthiest Americans. Well, they don't count people with inherited wealth. They count people with a working income. Did you get that? It's not inherited wealth, it's a working income. In other words, you've had a job, you've worked for your money. I'm not saying that that's what Hillary Clinton, what her intentions were with this book, but it's, I'm going to guess the pages are filled with self made women. Unfortunately, that may exclude certain people, including a 96-year-old. However, Hillary Clinton does thank Laura Ingraham for getting the word out. A book now turned Apple TV Plus docuseries. It was a challenge to narrow down who to feature because it's true. There are just too many amazing women in the world. Well, that was a very diplomatic answer from someone who has been the Secretary of State, a United States Senator, a First Lady, an Ivy League educated lawyer, all of those things. That was very diplomatic. But that being said, that's not any of Laura Ingram's concern. But guess what Laura Ingraham just did? She just told me that Hillary Clinton is on Apple TV Plus, and so I am going to have to um, subscribe just so that I can listen to the docu series on or watch the docu series on Apple TV Plus. So thank you, you right wing nut job, Laura Ingraham. And by the way, you guys, there is the book right there, Hillary Rodham Clinton and Chelsea Clinton, the book of gutsy women, favorite stories of courage and resilience. Mother and daughter are featured writers of the book. And of course, let's not forget that Hillary Clinton was one of the first influential world leaders, et cetera, to speak up on behalf of the Duchess of Sussex. And she said, yeah, I believe it happened, or in so many words. And yes, that's how it is, and she didn't hesitate. She didn't hem and haw. She didn't say anything about, I hope the families, work things out, and that she wasn't being PC. She wasn't being polite. She just said, yeah, it happened. uh, yeah, it happened. So thank you, Hillary Clinton, for standing on the right side of history where our Duchess is concerned. So, and just so that you know, yes, she has spent quite a few hours, I would say, with that family, and she knows of what she speaks. So, um, yes, I know Hillary is not perfect, but she was on the right side of history as far as the Duchess of Sussex was concerned. Hi, Baron, Royal Sussex, Squaddies, Mod Squad. I am continuing to pray for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. God surround them with love and protection while they're in the UK. Yes, thank you so much, Ma Jones. Very wise words, and we do need that. Hello, Ivy here. Is Ivy here? I just saw that. Hello, Ivy here. I love Ivy. Let's see. Exquisite Caribbean Queen says, Dr. Barron, now that you mentioned the what is that? CO something 19. I think she died from that. Never thought of. Oh, okay. I get you there. That before pennies for your thoughts. I don't think that that's what it was. I think she was very ill anyway. Um, there was a doctor that looked at some photos, and that the back of the hand was more than just IV bags. That was literally poor circulation that caused this, the skin to deteriorate like that. So I'm gonna go with that one. I know there are other theories out there, but I don't believe that that's what it was. I think that when you consider that there was a woman that was 100 years old that survived the pandemic, that was living in a nursing home where so many other people around her did not survive. So I think it's a very good chance that it was just something else related to being natural causes. So that is my opinion about that. Okay, thank you so much for your comment, though. Cookies and Cream says Hillary Clinton and Angela Merkel are two intelligent, strong, independent, and admirable women. I will say amen to that. I got a very warm spot for Hillary. So now Laura Ingram thinks she is to tell people what to write in their own books. Laura Ingram has an opinion about everything, and we all know what we say about opinions, right? Miranda Rio says these people do realize that America is not part of Britain anymore. We don't care about the royals as much as they think we do. We only care about the Sussexes. Well, you know what, Miranda Rios? I'm so glad you said that because um, I have been thinking that for a while. I told you guys, well, you know what? I'm going to get into that a little deeper soon. But I told you guys before that one of the reasons why the American networks capitulate as often as they do is because they want access. And right now is a ratings bonanza. It is all Queen all the time. And so, in order to have that access, and guaranteed future access, they have to play along with the House of Windsor. And that's exactly what they're doing. I mean, you have some academics who have wisely said Isn't this why we fought a revolution? This is not a system that is consistent with our own. I don't know why so many Americans are being taken in by this smoke and mirror game from the royal family. And it is working. This is like what they're doing is they are planting the seeds for the future interests and growth of brand Windsor. I guarantee you that. Whether or not you like it. Oh, yeah, by the way, you guys, Hillary Clinton does have a Grammy Award for the spoken word for, I believe it was her first biographical book. Oh, I know what it was. I think it was for It Takes a Village. That is why she won the Grammy, was for the spoken word for the recording made of It Takes a Village. So not only does she have all that other stuff I mentioned, but she's Grammy Award winning Hillary Diane Rodham Clinton. And lastly, in case you've never seen it before, this is the official White House portrait of the First Lady Hillary Rodham Clinton. And I believe that is the book on the table. It Takes a Village. And what's very interesting about her portrait is that this is the only First Lady that has ever been uh, painted wearing pants. The first image of a First Lady as an official portrait wearing pants, something that she insisted upon as an official Gutsy woman. So, just in case you've never seen it, there you go. All right, so People Magazine, who seems to drink all the water that they can get from the various houses of Windsor, People Magazine should receive a call from Meghan's lawyers. The September issue is completed with, I'm sorry, well, it should be what? Complete with slander? Um, they made it appear as if Meghan's speech at the One Young World in her interview to The Cut was together. They also altered her picture to make her appear devilish. I've noticed lately that people have been taking license with her photo. There was a time when the Duchess of Sussex's photos, anytime they wanted to make her look wicked, you guys probably already know there's like maybe two or three go to photos that they use each and every time. But I've noticed this trend where they are starting to alter, darken, um, um, I guess, warp and twist her image to make her look as unattractive as possible. But even with that, not so much. And in this one, you can see they have actually darkened her features. This is one of the most unflattering photos of the Duchess of Sussex that I've seen in quite some time. And it is done very deliberately because it is Operation Uplift the Duchess Doolittle, Cain and Unable. It is Operation Lift. I'm telling you guys, they are on a propaganda tour. This whole thing is like the best thing that has happened to that family in a while. They know that their fortunes are going to wane thanks to losing the queen, which is the only thing that was holding that institution together. So I tell you what, you won't be able to take anything away from them for the effort because they are going to try, and I do mean try like hell, to uplift and hold things together and as well as propagate all of the virtues of the royal family. Mystic Tuxton says, I felt like they have been altering Harry's picture to make him look more grumpy, tweak Meghan's pics to make, the pics doesn't shock me, sadly. Mystic Toxin, okay, thank you so much because I thought I noticed a trend. And yeah, I was sure because after all, the Sussexes have been known as the most photogenic royals of them all, and yet suddenly it seems as though they are angry, they have aged, They are somehow darker and sinister. And People Magazine, it should be called Propaganda Magazine for the royal family. They really should. Thank you so much, Mystic Toxin. Sheila James says People Magazine is in bed with the palace. The meddlesome posse are also running negative PR against Meghan. Yes, meddlesome posse. I like that. Sheila James, that is brilliant. Thank you so much for that. Okay. Hello, Anastasia Isabella. And yes, they are evil. 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 1960 says American media might be listening for a bit, but as soon as the Commonwealth and other countries, including Scotland and Ireland, start stepping away and asking for independence, Americans will wake up. God, I hope so, 1960. But you know what? As you just reminded me somehow, the alternative press, which is what the Sussex is, has decided to lean upon, which of course includes Cut magazine. That is going to be what saves them. That, and of course, the Sussex Squad. Those very vile individuals, the so-called a Sussex Squad, as Dan Wootton has put it. Oh, there we go. Lelaine McHahey, thank you so much for the super sticker. And thank you so much for being a member and watching Royal Sussex. I thank you very much. All right. All right. So moving on. Do you guys recognize this woman? Anybody recognize her? She is someone who wanted to blow the lid off of a lot of things that have become daily talking points here, there, and everywhere. It was how do I put it? It was an opportunity to actually do the work that people has trusted them to do for a very long time. But instead, she was somehow suppressed. Her words were discouraged, and they told her, because at the time when she wanted to tell her truth, not just her truth, the truth, they said, Amy, if you do that, it's going to cause problems. Allegedly, they said that. Possibly, they said that. Um, and the way they were able to, I guess, change the narrative, there was going to be a wedding between two people, a mediocre girl from the country and a prince of the realm. And they told them, listen, American network, if you all, this is alleged, all of this is alleged, if you all run that story, maybe possibly alleged for the lawyers, if y'all run that story, you won't get access to two of the most useless individuals this side of creation. You will not have a chance to cover the wedding of bed knobs and broomsticks. So, with our memories being as long as they are, remembering how big the wedding of the century of Lady Diana and that other guy, everybody loves a royal wedding. I mean, it's a spectacle like none other. And so ABC didn't want to lose out on that. So they were just like, we can talk about that another time. But right now, we really want to have access to that wedding. Yes, they're not the sharpest tools in the shed. Yes, one is a jointed doll and doesn't seem to have much personality. And yes, the other one seems to have a devious nature that we haven't identified yet, but we really want in on that. So, no, no. But tell you what, all of this is alleged, but tell you what, um, we got some other plans for you. We got some other plans for you. How about if we make you alleged again, the official correspondent of all things royal? Cha-ching! Yes, every time something happens on that side of the ocean, we are going to send you over there, all expenses paid. You'll be able to sit there with the rest of your friends. Y'all can stay at the nicest hotels. You can have a bird's eye view to history. How about it? Do I have a choice? No! Okay. So, no choice but to go along. And so, all of this is alleged. I don't know any of it to be true. This is total parody and speculation on my part. But I can only tell it the way it seems, but not necessarily. Got what I'm saying there? But it seems like if you capitulate, is that the right word? But yeah, just shut your mouth. Go over there, cover the events, and you'll be all right. So that's what happened. She has had access like none other. I mean, she's getting the kind of gigs like they used to give to Barbara Walters. You know what I mean? Barbara Walters would be sitting there doing something like this. Hello, everyone. We are here to cover the royal wedding. The royal wedding. I'm Baba Wawa, and I'm with I'm here with WABC Woos. WABC Woos. Hello, everyone. I'm Baba Wawa. Uh, ABC Woos. Goodbye. So she's getting the kind of gigs that they used to give to Baba Wawa. Um, Not bad for a day's work, right? Uh, Remember when Barbara Walters was sharing the desk with Harry Wiesner? Most people call him Harry Reasoner, but Baba called him Harry Wiesner. Baba Wawa and Harry Wiesner. Anyway, you guys, that's enough of Baba Wawa. But yeah, so that's the kind of gig she's getting. By the way, Katerina Kemp, thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you ever so much for watching Royal Sussex, and happy Monday to you. So it continues. Things have gone onward and upward for her. And you know what, you guys? I don't blame her one bit. Um, I'm sure that she has been able to influence some things whenever and wherever she could, but sometimes you just have to live to fight another day. And she's had a tough go of it in recent years with some health things and what have you. But all I can say is her heart was in the right place. So don't be angry with her. Don't take her to task over some things that she couldn't possibly have full license and control over, because, as Harry said, those same dark forces, and in exchange for access, they um, had to sidetrack or put something on the back burner. Who knows? But that's the way these things happen. Now, take a look here. Prince William and Harry reconciliation just for mourning, not for life. Well, we should have suspected as much, right? As you know, they made this big song and dance about how they were going to, you know, I didn't buy it. I didn't believe it. The Daily Telegraph obviously has been briefed by somebody leaking to them, possibly, allegedly. As you know, the calls are coming from inside the house. The calls are coming from inside the house. Well, yes, these calls are coming from inside the house. They're coming from inside a palace or castle or somewhere, but they have been briefing against the Duke and Duchess of Sussex ever since the Queen took her last breath. Um, so right here, one of the squaddies says, "So the palace is leaking again. How did they know these details?" Dismayed by some of the coverage focusing on Harry and Meghan's movements on the day of the Queen Elizabeth died, rather than the magnitude of her passing, William resolved to make contact with his brother and sister in law. Both he and the Princess of Wales felt the focus should solely be on the period of deep mourning and not and nothing else, rather, revealed an insider that the focus should only be on the late grandmother. Well, as you guys know, up until that point, it was all about where's Harry and Meghan? Is Harry and Meghan on the way? Harry and Meghan this, Harry and Meghan that. Agreeing that above all the family should come first, Harry resolved to swallow his pride and allow his elder brother to take the lead, even conceding to being driven by William in the back of a blacked out Audi. Um, Doubts have been cast on reports that King Charles intervened to stop Meghan boarding the Cessna Harry chartered to the Luton airport to fly him to Aberdeen on Thursday. The truth, according to one of the palace sources, is that Harry hadn't even been called by William. I'm called by the time William boarded his own private jet to Scotland with the Duke of York and the Earl and Countess of Wessex. This was because the heir because the heir to the throne, why do I keep saying be, had initially been summoned by his father in his constitutional capacity as a council of state. It seems that while the family knew the Queen was gravely ill when they took off from the RAF Norholt, whatever, on Thursday lunchtime, they didn't expect her to deteriorate so rapidly, with Charles even thinking that he and William might have been able to host a virtual Privy Council meeting she had postponed the previous day. So, obviously, Prince Charles wasn't even with her the previous day, even though it sounds like she took a turn for the worse. But you know what? I don't know that to be true or untrue, but it just seems like she must have been in pretty bad shape. I wonder what happened the 2 days before she died. Gee, that's interesting. Uh, was she? Well, I can't get into that. Hen Pal, thank you so much for the super chat. They will be leaking like sieves. A few of them will be out of a job soon. Ooh, Hen Pal, you know what? I forgot about that. They may have to replace some of those men in gray. Yeah. Hen Pal, that's brilliant. Thank you so much. And thank you for the super chat. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Okay, so next. So there it is. I knew it. Bill was not extending generosity to Harry. It was Harry who was negotiating his own terms, which Bill needed for his PR. More respect to Harry. See why being financially independent works well for the Sussexes. They can't boss Harry anymore. Well, what is meant by that is exactly that. Because they're financially independent. Now, remember, if Harry and Meghan had not left, or if they had embraced a half in, half out, all of or part of their income would probably come from William's Duchy of Cornwall. It's his now, right? That is what Charles used as an allowance for the Sussexes. So even though Meghan being independently wealthy, you could only pay for so much before you start, getting a little light in the pockets. And as for Harry, his money was in a trust and he couldn't really access it like a ATM. So they would have been dependent upon the Duchy of Cornwall, right? Well, all of that being considered, William and Harry extended negotiations delayed Windsor appearance by 45 minutes. Harry ain't no fool. Harry knows how these things work. And if you want something, you got to give something. And so being financially independent saved the day. I tell you, when they underestimate Prince Harry, they do it at their own peril. He's not the little flunky that you all have hoped he'd continue to be under the weight of the royal family. He's his own independent, financially independent thinking person, and he doesn't have to suffer through that anymore. Plus, he's a grown man with a wife and children and a very supportive mother in law. So, no more of that. And then this is when the briefing started, right here. There was this assumption that the, let's see, incredulous palace, oh, yeah, right there. Palace staff learned Meghan wanted to travel to Balmoral with Harry. Now, somebody briefed that. And of course, Rebecca English ends up writing the story. So that's, I want to say that this was like part two of the briefing. Part one was Harry didn't make it. I can't remember which come first, but you remember there was the article from the Daily Fail, "No Time to Grieve" or "Too Late to Grieve" or whatever. So the briefing started that afternoon, sadly enough, without any shame or hesitation. They started in on the Sussexes as soon as their schedule was out of their control. Now, remember, there are no leaks in Montecito, so they didn't have any plausibility with the narrative because they never knew where the Sussexes were going or what they would do. They would usually be the last to hear about it. But now that the Queen is dead, and it's just like they turned the clock back, Harry and Meghan has to navigate around the schedule of this mourning period from the time the Queen died until the funeral a week from today. So, to some extent, they kind of had them over a barrel. But when you think about this, that Harry and William extended negotiation, nothing that they want to do where the Sussexes actively participate is going to happen unless they iron out some things. It's not going to be a case of you're going to tell us what to do. You're going to ask us to participate. And if we find it pleasing or reasonable, we might just get involved and do something. But you're not going to tell us what to do. You're not going to use us for PR. You're not going to take credit for the things that we start and so on and so forth. So a lot of things, the power dynamic has shifted. Obviously, the power dynamic has shifted. And yes, William is the Prince of Wales now with all the jinx that comes with that. And yes, the other one is the Princess of Wales and even wears Diana's engagement ring. So bed knobs and broomsticks, woo, they never had it so good. But that big problem is they are not going to be able to boss around Harry in the way that they hoped, or in any way for that matter. So let's get over here. I am going to change topics a bit because this has been trending like crazy, y'all. This has been trending like crazy and with good reason. Oh, I'm going to have to take a sip of water for this because this is going to be good. Dan Wootton, Dan Wootton mocked for performative mourning in Queen tribute. Well, when they said Queen tribute, of course, I was like, yeah, Dan Wootton. But they wasn't talking about him being the Queen. They were talking about the Queen. So either way, there is a Queen involved. Actually, there's two involved. There's Dan Wootton, and then there's Her Majesty, who recently passed away. So, having gotten that out of place, um, I wanted to return to Buckingham Palace today for some quiet reflection and lay my tribute crowds, young, old, and all ethnicities and backgrounds, truly the best of British, doing her justice. Well, that's the same Dan Wootton who mocked the Sussexes for how lucky that a photographer happened to be here. He tries to be so erudite, doesn't he? To capture a deeply personal moment. Um, Dan Wootton, Dan Wootton, who you think you fooling? Who you think you fooling? And then of course Chris Ship with a P, not a T. That Chris Ship, Chris Ship. Harry and Meghan have marked Remembrance Day by visiting the Los Angeles National Cemetery today. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex wanted to personally recognize the day in their own way. Okay, that's not bad. So, as you guys may know, there is the Arlington National Cemetery where a lot of heroes are buried. But we have many, many national cemeteries around the country. And I learned that there's actually one in Cambridge, England. There's actually a war dead cemetery for Americans in Cambridge. I actually took some photos there. I'll share those with you one day. But yes, okay, so that happened. But if you guys want to know what took me so long today, I'm going to share that with you. I wanted to I wanted to mark this occasion with Dan Wootton in a way that I thought could really do justice. So here goes Dan Wootton, uh, quietly reflecting.
Oh, look, somebody drew a picture. Oh, that's sweet. How'd you guys do it? See there? Somebody drew a picture? No, but it's not. It's sweet.
And walk. Okay, put the flowers down. Thank you, Morrison's. Okay, time for that period of quiet reflection you were talking about. Look as if you're surreptitiously trying to work out how to scale the railings. Okay, that's about 6 seconds. Turn and go. Great stuff.
Okay, so I kind of let the other video creep in there. But yes, you have a chance to see Dan Wootton doing some of the worst acting I've ever seen, which, by the way, I'm going to post an individual video for that later. But yeah, so that was Dan Wootton's very public, very contrived version of quiet reflecting. I mean, that was some of the worst acting I've ever seen. I told you, and I tell you what though, he was very ladylike when he dipped his knees to place those flowers. So I give him credit. In spite of everything else going on, he was still very much the lady. So oh man. I mean, just could you imagine? Could you imagine Dan Wootton, of all people, who has an opinion about everything, going out there and just ugh.
And walk. Okay, put the flowers down. Thank you, Morrison's. Okay, time for that period of quiet reflection you were talking about. Look as if you're surreptitiously trying to work out how to scale the railings. Okay, that's about 6 seconds. Turn and go. Great stuff.
That was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. I don't know how you explain that one. Um, all I can say is somebody's slip is showing. Somebody has somehow hiked up their hemland and their slip is showing. So Dan Wootton, that was just tacky, 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 tacky. So shh, Dan Wootton is quietly reflecting. You guys, do not interrupt him. Uh, as Elmer Fudd would say, be very quiet. We are quietly reflecting. So be very quiet, you guys, because it's lights, camera, Wooten. And we'll have Dan Wootton in 1, 2, 3. Wooten. Thank you, Chef Sandy Love. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Thank you for being a member, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. So, anyway, that is what took me so long. I was trying to put the final touches on that. So I'm going to change gears a bit and go here with this one. Give me just a second. So take a look here, just off to Buckingham Palace to quietly reflect. Look at the big smile on his face with his co-conspirators. This looks like Mount Crapmore, doesn't it? That looks like I feel like I'm looking at like Mount Crapmore. Instead of Mount Rushmore, it's Mount Crapmore. Uh, a bunch of otherwise stoic faces that have managed to crack a smile in the most jovial way possible, in a way to make sure that we are all mourning the Queen. So obviously, the Queen's loss has hit them pretty hard. That they all look like they are so fragile and so heartbroken, including Dan Wootton. So sorry, Your Majesty, this is how we mourn 2020. But notice, wait, take a look here. Notice the guy on the left there with the afro. That is Calvin. Calvin Robinson has so many opinions about the Duchess of Sussex. Such a shame Harry and Meghan need managing in this way. Careless. Can they not behave just for this period of mourning? Uh, does this look like he's mourning? Does this look like he's heartbroken? Can they behave just for this period of mourning? I'm telling you, they are whooping it up over there at what is it, CBN, GBN, whatever it is. Calvin now. Uh, anyway, Lorraine King told him, said, be wise in the way you act toward outsiders. Make the most of every opportunity. Let your conversation be always full of grace, seasoned with salt, so that you may know how to answer everyone. Okay, very wise words from the Bible. Well, Calvin is an Anglican deacon, TV, radio presenter, conservative commentator. Now, all of those people that he been kissing up and brown nosing and amen and all that kind of stuff, those the same people that stabbed him in the back. Right-wing black priest Calvin Robinson says anonymous letter has been sent to Bishop claiming he is a pimp. It is getting hard out here for a pimp, ain't it? They claimed that he was a pimp. All them people that you uplifting and patting on the back and allegedly conspiring against the Duchess of Sussex, and somebody in that crowd, not necessarily the ones over here, but somebody in that crowd has decided to expose you as being a pimp. A pimp! Trainee vicar Calvin Robinson said an anonymous letter claims he is a pimp. That big nerd. He said it says he is involved in eh, that it says right there. I don't want to say it for monetization. And he was sent to Bishop. Um, let's see. Mr. Robinson was blocked last month from becoming a Church of England priest. The Church of England said that any concerns raised is looked into according to safeguarding guidance. Um, Yo, what up, pimp? Yo, what's up, pimp? Anyway, they accused him of being a pimp. Calvin Robinson says the bishops are circulating letters suggesting he's a pimp involved in something like that after angry black man claims. Well, of course, he seems to forget just because there's a little cream in his hot chocolate or his coffee or whatever, and he seems to have very fair skin and a big afro, you just don't fit in with the leadership in the Anglican Church. I mean, there are some who can transcend their race or their pimpness, but you cannot transcend your pimpness, sir. So that is to say, I do not believe that he's a pimp. I think he's a angry black nerd who just happens to have found himself trying to kiss up to a bunch of people who don't have much respect for him, because at the end of the day, they are just treating him as an other, the same way they have done the Duchess of Sussex. So you would think he would know better, but he doesn't. These two people right here, changing the subject. As a matter of fact, where's my transitional music? Uh, Jedward have called for the monarchy to be abolished just days after Charles became king as a result of Queen Elizabeth II's death. These twins, who have been on reality shows, variety shows, or won some contests, these are just one of several young people who seem to have it in for Charles. That seems to be his problem these days. Is not everybody is so in love with the idea of Charles III. And I think that in the end, that is what's going to really do him in, is that people are just not that into him, if you know what I mean. So let me go over here. All right. Okay. And that's what I had to say about that. So, one paper, two different versions of a story. So, this is in line with the briefing and leaking against the Sussexes. Charles ordered the Sussex Cambridge joint walkabout, says one royal reporter. Another says it was William's idea. Moral of the story is each reporter makes up the version that fits their agenda and boss. Also, Daily Mail lies. So on the left side there, you have this whole thing about reconciliation, or the only truce. The Fab Four unexpected reunion happened after William sent Harry a text asking if he and Meghan flowers left for the Queen at Windsor Castle, and was not on the orders of Charles III. On the other one, of course, that's the first one that came out. These are not exactly in order, but you get the gist. Charles III ordered his warring sons to reunite for the sake of their grandmother. Um, which one of these are true? I don't know. But as I said, the leaking and the briefing started as soon as the Queen took her last gasp of oxygen. That's when all of this started. All right. And so this is what happened today. Well, actually, yeah, yesterday yesterday when they took the Queen to Holyrood, someone, you know, had that sign not directed toward the Queen, but to abolish the monarchy and, F imperialism. Isn't it amazing how the one picture, the police hauled her away? In the other photo, you could see that the police are literally walking right along with someone calling Russia imperialist and all that kind of stuff. It doesn't seem to matter for, the sake of Russia because, well, they're not in Russia. But don't they have freedom of speech in the United Kingdom? Isn't that one of the tenets of their constitutional monarchy? Is that there is freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of all kind of things, unless it has to do with the royal family or the government. Here's the Queen's coffin being taken to St. Giles Cathedral, and in the crowd on the right side, there is a young man who yelled to Andrew. You know what? I can't make out what he said, but it had something to do with the reason why some of the tax money paid for the upkeep of the royal family was allegedly paid to silence someone from accusing him of something. And so Andrew looks a bit shaken as he enters St. Giles. But this is the guy right here. This is, and notice how he was bundled away, he was searched, he was removed from the crowd so that they couldn't hear him yelling. But trust me, you could hear him loud and clear because the one thing about this procession is everybody is very quiet. Even the applause is somewhat muted. So he called them out and they huddled him away not to be seen and heard from until everything was over with. And then there's this guy. All right, so I do have that one.
Quiet reflection.
Okay.
Surreptitiously trying to work.
Let me find that. Oh, by the way, you guys, take a look at this. Take a look at this. Talk about talk about weird timing. Sorry, out of service. Did you guys see that? That was kind of weird. Queen Elizabeth II, sorry, not in service. It's just something that happened by chance. Just happened by chance. Okay. Okay, where is it? All right, so I wanted to play this one for you. I'm sorry, I was in a hurry, so I had to put all the videos together so that I could play them. And so they may not exactly be in order, but let me do this.
Of them emerged from the car. You can see Harry get out first, then you saw Meghan, and then the other two royals as well. And it was remarkable to see now because they are the working royals, and it was a huge shock. It was silent. You could almost hear a pin drop when the four of them emerged from the car. You could see Harry get out first, then you saw Meghan, and then the other two royals as well. And it was
Okay. So that's what upset a lot of people was that clip right there because he he said exactly what happened. And he did not use Will and Kate's titles. He didn't use Will and Kate's name, and that upset a lot of people. So I don't know what to tell you. That was his prerogative. And obviously, I think he's Canadian. And just like the Americans, the Canadians are very into the Sussexes. And as for the Cambridges, now the Duke, I'm sorry, the Prince and Princess of Wales, not so much. People are just not so into them. And so um, their implied authority and influence has no sway over much of North America. That's just the way it is. As I said before, most people didn't even know that they were the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. They just knew that that was bed knobs and broomsticks, will and will not, Cain and unable, Duchess Doolittle and Workshire Will. That's all that people knew about them. They didn't know much about any of that stuff. So it was considered a snub. Anyway, I think Eden put it best. God bless America, that American network, CNN. Okay, so let me see. Was that done with those slides? That. Yes. Let me see. Okay, I did those. All right. All right. So anyway, back to this one. Back to this one. All right. Okay, here we go. Oh, Liz Truss, kind of looked like somebody made this video. They took that curtsy that she did for Charles. That was her version of the curtsy. Um, and then also they turned her. You guys remember that little toy that we had as kids, us baby boomers? Oh God, what we used to do to amuse ourselves. Well, anyway, they did that with it. So I tell you, one thing I love is that people still have their sense of humor. People are still exercising their imagination. They are not being so swept away with this mourning period that is being forced upon us. And yes, I have respect for the Queen and all that stuff, and especially where it concerns Prince Harry. Um, I'm gonna be as thoughtful about things as possible, but the type of deference and they're trying to whip people into that type of grief that was used for Princess Diana, and nobody's buying it, and that bothers them, that they are not able to achieve that. It's just they're trying to force a thing that's just not there. They're trying to force that, and it's not happening, and that seems to bother people. So let's just keep being us. Let's keep being the Sussex squad. We don't have to pretend for the sake of it. I think we're being very respectful, and we're only telling things the way. Um, okay, now this guy. Let me see here. Okay, the Queen was booed at.
How were you
Okay,
feeling after Queen's death last night?
I think the death of anyone is sad and something to be mourned, but I'm not feeling anything about it. She's an evil colonizer, and she covered up her son bailed him out with tax money. That's not right. I think the monarchy should be abolished, and I think this should be the last of a long line of kings and queens.
Do you think King Charles will make a good king?
No, not at all. He'll cover up his rich friends. He'll cover up his brother and other people within that blatantly obvious ring of corrupt people who just take what they want and don't give anything back.
And finally, do you have a message for the royal family?
Go. Just go.
And that is it. Perfect. Thank you so much for your help.
Right.
so he was being very respectful. But he told how he felt about it. Now, of course, I had to remove some of the words a word that he used to describe, um, the Queen's son and other friends of the son and such. I had to remove those words, but that was the way he felt about it. So he called it the way he saw it. Period. That was it. No malice or anything like that. And when he asked him, "Do you have a message for the royal family?" his response was, "Just go." But if you notice, the common thread are the young people. They can try to bully and browbeat all they want. They could try to influence, the American networks all they want, but where they are coming up short is the youth. The youth do not care. Here's another indication.
Very good. It's new, but it's good. Wonderful.
Oh my god, hi! What's your name?
Amelka.
Amelka? Oh, how beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here. It means so much to the family. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
How long have you been waiting?
Like 2 hours.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well, hopefully you'll be able to get back home soon. We appreciate you being here.
Hug me. Of course. Oh my goodness.
Thank you.
You're so lovely. You're literally so beautiful.
So that was another view. If you guys recall, when Meghan was embraced by that girl, that there was someone with her, that Meghan shook hands with her, that woman that eventually shook hands after she embraced the girl, the 14-year-old girl. Well, she obviously made this video, or someone nearby, but I guess it was that lady that made this video, and then of course uploaded it later. And because nobody knew who she was, it took a long time for anybody to track down the video. But despite all of the tweaking from the tabloid press, you can see that our Duchess looks absolutely beautiful in spite of all of the manipulations from other people. And at the very end, you could hear the lady tell her how beautiful she is. And that's what people have said quite often, is that, with everything else that Meghan has going for her, they're always so surprised that when they meet her, exactly how beautiful she is. So that seems to be a common theme. So it's been tough, you guys, and I know that us squatties have had to deflect and fight and argue, and hopefully not get put in Facebook jail or something like that because of the shenanigans going on. But we are on the right side of history, and we're helping them to fight for their cause. Let's see if I can show you. I'm going to show you that conversation she had with the girl, because you couldn't hear the conversation in real time. So I am going to show you the hug again. I believe it's just after this. Yeah, I believe this is the right part. I tried to forward it just a bit, but yeah, you'll see in just a moment. Oh, guys, I have some very, very mixed feelings about this. So there's no, you can't hear their voices. There was only music I added. Unfortunately, from this vantage point, there was no sound with this. And I believe that whoever recorded it omitted any of their voices, so you couldn't hear it. But see, there's that lady with the phone there. So it's either her or the girl next to her. But one of those people to Meghan's left side there are the ones that recorded that video. So, you guys, I hope I've been able to. Oh, thank you, Mary Hiker. Yeah, I don't want to get you guys crying right now, so I didn't want to play the music. It is it's a very emotional. So. Okay, you guys, I'm going to take a look at some of your comments before I go. I do believe I shared everything that I was hoping to share with you guys today. Well, I mean, what the hell? I guess I should show you this one too. Let me see here. Hold on one second, you guys. Let me cue. There it is.
The palace, and I think that Meghan had never encountered that kind of friction before. The combination of the feeling that perhaps she was the wrong skin colour, but most of all that she was a very strong-willed, professional, independent woman. The same thing happened to Diana, but Diana wasn't in the same sense a professional woman. She had to learn that kind of hostility. And I think that Meghan is probably smart enough now to realise that she can navigate her way back into that situation and avoid that kind of... But she can only do that, and Harry can only do that, if they are understood as a successful couple, which they are. And this nonsense about she made him do it, which you hear all the time in the British press. Oh, if Harry does something, he made him do it, which is a criticism of Harry's own agency, which is appalling, really, because he's a strongly independent person with a very strong military record. Don't forget this, he had a very strong military career. He saw battle and the horrors of battle in Afghanistan in a way that no other member of the royal family has seen. Meghan understood that, but they didn't.
Now, because they are the working royals, and it...
Okay, you guys. So I am so done for today. Thank you all so much for coming by. I am putting the link over so you guys can join me over at Petals. See what happens when I start a little late is that I kind of lap over, and that certainly was not my intention. So I am going to jump over to Petals. I'm going to pin that link to the top of the chat because I want to hear the prosecution today. I am not a hostile witness for the prosecution. I am here to, share and share alike. So thank you all so much. I really appreciate you being here. I'm going to take a look at a couple of your comments. I'll look for the last word of the day, and then we are going to avenge ourselves out of here. And I will listen to Pedo and make lunch at the same time. Beautiful day, Baron. Why are they calling them the Fab Four? There are only two fabulous people, Prince Harry and Princess Meghan. You are so right about that, beautiful day. I guess for the sake of nostalgia, or more likely for the sake of clicks. Oh, it's the clicks, right? Thank you so much for your comment. Lady Demigod, thank you so much for your comment. It says, I see Kate copying Meghan's hairstyle, parting in the middle. Kate uses two parts, herself on the side. Yeah. She, and also, did you guys notice the blonde highlights that Kate has tried to soften up her appearance by going a little lighter, which is, I guess, is helping. I'm going to just say, I guess it helps. I'm not looking that close. Karen Glenn says, hello, Baron. Did anyone notice the flowers Queen Elizabeth received by her death is no way near what Diana received? Yes, I have noticed that. It's not nearly as much. And also, I think during this period of time, Karen, I don't understand why they're not telling people to donate to the food banks. Why are they trying? But see, that would destroy the illusion. They want people to believe that there's a greater outpouring of mourning for the Queen than for Diana. And so for that reason, they're not asking people to do the logical thing, which is donate to a food bank. Instead, they are trying to fill the area with as many flowers as possible. And yeah, you're right about that. As a matter of fact, they're even encouraging people and telling them where to place their flowers. I think it's really outrageous because there are some people in the United Kingdom that are hungry and using food banks, and people that are skipping meals, or they're skipping meals so that their children can eat. Stop telling people to buy flowers and come up with a common link or hotline where they can donate to a food bank. I think this is morally outrageous that they are not saying that, because people are still hungry. They're not mourning so much that they don't hear their stomachs. Thank you so much for your comment, and thank you for the super chat and for watching Royal Sussex. Okay. Baron, tearing up like I did when the store didn't have my moonshine ingredients. Oh, Church Nelly, pull it together now. Rory B says, I'm so glad Harry negotiated his terms and proved that Kate and Wills are definitely leakers and troublemakers. Amen to that, Rory B. Okay. Michael Miller says, Baron, Prince Harry and Princess Meghan told people in the crowd that they should donate to the homeless shelters and food banks. William and Kate did no such thing. Yes, Michael Miller, thank you for telling me that. I didn't hear very much of the conversation that was had. I've only had limited resources to see the exchanges, but I'm so glad you told me that, and none of that surprises me. Thank you so much. Um, thank you so much. I hope that's what I said. Yeah. Thank you, Baron, moderators and squatties. Well, Hakwin, Pinkin, we are glad you are here. I'm glad you're here, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. Sylvia Fielder says, we should have more important things. The election in November, right around the corner. Get out the vote. Dr. Something Senior to the polls. Volunteer your time. Going to have a Senate like English Tories. Oh, yeah. Sylvia Fielder, you're absolutely right. We should concentrate on that and not that heretic monarchy over there. We got bigger fish to fry. So I will say yes to that. Yeah, because this is getting out of hand. And just think, there's a whole nother 7 days of this. God help us. Whew, Jesus. There's going to be 7 more days of this. Lord have mercy. Okay, you guys. I think I am good. I'm looking for the last comment of the day. I will join you guys over at Pedos. Put the pedal to the metal because there is going to be a prosecution. I hope I haven't missed it. Let me see. Oh, yes, yes. She's talking about it right now. She was just talking about Oprah and Gail, but now she's talking about it right now. So I love you guys. The last comment of the day is have a great day, all. Until next time, thank you so much, Kim. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you, whoever just sent me PayPal. I really do believe. I really do appreciate that. And also, let me see if I have my list for today. Do I have a list of people to thank? Do I have a list? Oh no, I'm gonna have to use that next time, Stephen Black. Thank you so much. I'm gonna have to use that next time, though. I love it. Okay. I love it. You guys are gonna have to wait next time to see what Stephen just sent me. But if you know some of his work, you know it's gonna be good. All right. Okay, I don't think I have a list. Well, anyway. Oh, maybe Sherry Ware wasn't on today. All right. Well, anyway, for everyone who has donated to Royal Sussex, thank you so much. And for all of you guys who have helped Royal Sussex achieve 18,000 subscribers, again, thank you so much. You guys are a miracle and a blessing. I really do appreciate it. And oh, thank you so much, Lady Demagogue. I appreciate that. Carol Lund, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you for watching Royal Sussex. If I missed any of your super chats or super stickers, it's only because I've been over here as busy as a cat covering up poop. Now, I got to go, y'all, because I want to... Ain't this the best? I'm trying to run up out of here so I can go watch Pedal. But I do. I want to go over there and watch Pedal because I want to see what she has to say. She ain't been on in a few days. So anyway, the link to Pedal is up there at the top of the chat. And okay, y'all, I gotta go. I appreciate y'all being here. So that was our last word. It is time to cue Ginge Revenge and give love to our faves. And that, of course, is our Queen of Hearts, Diana, and our Queen of Everything, Doria. Thank you. Cute Ginge Avenge. And see y'all over at Pedals. I'm missing it, y'all. I'm gonna have to re-listen to the beginning of it. Oh, when y'all go over there, please tell her that Baron sent you. Okay, cute Ginger Avenge.
that older generation have that is so intelligent. That one lady. Oh,